But let's move on to the preseason game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. This was a preseason game where the Steelers decided to bench Ben Roethlisberger. He didn't play, which I think is smart, because he doesn't need to play during the preseason. Okay, he's got kind of like injury issues. He's got arm issues himself. So why have him play? Okay, started Mason Rudolph. We started Jalen Hurts. And I kind of just want to give my assessment of the game without, being too reactionary about it, because it's preseason. I always like to start out with the things that I liked about the game. I thought that Jalen had relative command over the team for a guy that people are saying is going to suck. He made some really good throws. He missed a few, and he had a few drops, but I'm going to talk about that later. But I feel like the real MVP of this preseason game was Quez Watkins. I'm old enough to remember a specific Eagles fan who said that Quez Watkins isn't going to be good. Now, I don't know if Quez Watkins is going to be good. I have no real idea if he's going to be good. But he's been good in camps, which you got to take that with a grain of salt. And he was good in this preseason game where he caught a screen pass and he went 70 yards the other direction for a touchdown. And that's just raw explosion. Like he just had he was fast. He's a fast dude. And let's see what more we can see with that, because that was his only catch of the game and that was his one and only touchdown. I felt like the offensive line handled their situation well. I don't know which Steelers player was missing or playing on their defense. I know they were blitzing a lot. They were definitely blitzing a lot. And Jalen Hurts, there are a few plays where he stepped up in the pocket. There are a few plays where he evaded pressure and he delivered on a really good throw. I think the one really good one was to Dallas Goedert, who he ended up running for like 20 yards down the field. Also very impressed, but I'm not going to stop pressuring him, is Jake Elliott, because I know that if I stand here and I say, oh, we're fine with Jake Elliott, he's just going to turn into Jake Smelliott again and miss 25-yard field goals, and I'm going to be like, yeah, I wish I had Sarah Fuller as my kicker than Jake Smelliott. So I'm not going to get the pressure off of him. I like the fact that he hit 247s and a 50. That's good. But I don't want to get the pressure off of him. As for the defense, according to Jonathan Gannon, the defensive coordinator, he said something along the lines of he didn't apply any pressure because of the fact that he wanted the corners on an island just to see what they could do. They did okay. The Steelers, again, they had Mason Rudolph as their quarterback, but I know they had Smith-Schuster, Juju Smith-Schuster playing. I know they had Claypool playing, the receiver. So relatively, they had most of their starters in the game. I think Najee Harris played, but our defense did pretty well. Like the circumstances, not playing Ben Roethlisberger, so they played pretty well, right? They weren't setting the world on fire, but again, they allowed 0 points, which is what you should expect when you're playing against a team who's starting a backup quarterback. So they did pretty well. Joe Flacco, obviously, he had a relatively competitive day, or a competent day, so he did pretty well. He led the team after Jalen Hurts was taken out of the game. Again, like the defensive line, like the backup defensive line, Milton Williams is a beast, and he did a lot of great things. As well as Alex Singleton. He did a lot of great things. But again, I'm not taking the pressure off these guys because they have a long way to go, right? You're not always going to play against the Pittsburgh Steelers number 2 quarterback. You're not always going to play against the backups. And then the negative aspects of this preseason game. The negative aspects of this preseason game, number 1, third down conversions. You have to convert on third downs. You have to do it. Zach Ertz, you used to be on the cusp of being an all-pro tight end. You have to catch that pass. Because while field goals are okay, you want to get the drive going. I think we were 0 for 13 or something, or 0 for 11 on third down conversions. That's not good. That's bad. That's really bad. Good teams convert on third down. Bad teams punt. Bad teams don't take control of that opportunity. Okay? Good teams convert on third down. You have to be able to. Or you have to have a shutdown defense. But I don't know if we have a shutdown defense. I haven't seen enough to know if we have a shutdown defense. So conversion on third down, that's one big thing. Our number 3 players, they stink. So if we start getting injuries on the defensive line, we're just going to get bummed. Okay? We're not going to be able to stop a running game. It's just not happening. And it was encouraging to see that the number 1s and number 2s were doing well. But then the number 3s came in and they weren't doing anything. Again, the game doesn't matter. I know we lost, 26-16 or 24-16, something like that. But at the end of the day, these might end up being our players if we catch a huge injury bug like we did last year. So that's a big worry on the team as far as I know. So those are the 2, right? The number 3 players were not good. The Steelers absolutely demolished us. Nick Mullins, I'm old enough to remember when 49ers fans were saying that Nick Mullins was the greatest quarterback ever after he spanked the Raiders one year. The dude stinks. He's not good. I'd rather have Joe Flacco as a backup than him. And obviously Joe Flacco played way better. The dude completed more passes to the other team than he did our team. Okay, I'm sure that there's a Giants fan out there that considers the play of Nick Mullins during that one preseason game to being how Jalen Hurts actually is. I'm actually kind of appalled that there wasn't a Giants fan who was talking smack about Nick Sirianni or blaming Nick Sirianni for the fact that the Eagles tanked in a preseason game. I'm honestly at a loss for words for that. I can't believe that Giants fans aren't all over that move right there. There are Giants fans who are laughing that Devontae Smith in the booth was wearing a Yankees hat, as if that really matters.